Corsa begins the year with a win, as he did last year in Valencia. In style, Corsa takes out the season opener and says yes. The margin back to the second place. Troy Bayliss, 3.5.
Nakano fighting back, but it's not going to be enough. That Aprilia, too much power for Nakano today, so it's third for Battaini and fourth for Nakano.
But I think the Aprilias are going to dominate at Assen personally, but, well, we haven't been there. Here we go, another celebration for Valentino Rossi.
Ed efficacissimo, Troy Corser, Aprilia Rsv Mille, 2 vittorie lo scorso anno, record della pista, imbattuto, eccolo dentro, seconda alla Misano, soggettiva, sentiamo la musica.
First victory, but here he comes then, 2 corners remaining, Alex Espargo and Aprilia celebrate their first ever win in MotoGP. It's pure delirium for Aprilia and Alex Espargo on his 200th MotoGP start. Aprilia and Alex Espargo finally are MotoGP winners.
Hey up everyone, it's time to get this RSV SP prepped for paint, so we're going to strip it down today. We're really behind schedule. We've had this bike for at least a couple of months and it should have been done by now, but I have been working through so many projects, getting them out of the way so I can clear some space to do this one. Let's take a look. So I've cleared this room out a little bit. I'm going to get that out of the way. I'm going to cover the poor little GPZ up as well. I really want to get that bike done. I'm just not having the time to do it. This room is going to get a makeover when I finish, but anyway. Right, so the RSV SP, it's still a massive honour to have this bike in here. I've give it a wash and give it a clean, see what's underneath all that dirt and grime. It's gathered some dust while it's been in here, so it does want a little wipe down. We're going to start by simply stripping all the panels from this, and we're going to roll the chassis into there. We're going to have a look at what we've got to work with. The tank looks like it's had cats on it or something. You might not see those scratches, but this is heavily scratched everywhere. This paint on the tank would actually just, I think this is just clear coat damage, so it would buff out. I could cut that down with 2000 grit and buff it out. It would be nice. But unfortunately there are a few little paint chips like there, and there's one under there, and there's a big gouge in here which is going to need to be repainted. So, I want to preserve as much of the originality of it as possible, but it is not possible. These stickers are sun bleached, there's scratches everywhere, all over it. I've got this colour already. The wheels should be in that colour. The carbon fibre is in a real sorry state. I'm quite concerned about this one. This is going to need a lot of sanding, but I can see the depth of that gel coat on there, so I think I've got a lot to work with. That is going to take some sanding down because these are some rough scratches. I do not know what the rider must have been wearing when he's riding this bike. He's probably been wearing barbed wire or chainmail pants. Round here looks like he's had a sticker on there which has protected this carbon fibre gel coat. However, this is heavily sun bleached, so this is going to be a difficult one. It's got a crack in there. I've ordered some carbon fibre repair kit, so I'm going to try and repair that crack. If this was plastic, then I would simply just, I'll simply hot staple that and fill it. But carbon fibre, it's a little bit more complex. There's another crack down there. These are problems. We need to sort those out. Then we're going to have to get this sanded down, mask this line as it is there, and get this restored. The first thing I'm going to be doing is painting this nose cone and the belly pans. This belly pan is going scrap, so I need another belly pan. I've got a sticker kit, but the only problem is, Griff gave me a sticker kit for this. It's an old sticker kit. It's still in okay condition to use, but I do not have a left-hand side RSV sticker. I don't have a left-hand side RSV sticker, and that has caused a mountain of problems. And that problem is that you cannot buy these stickers just on eBay or anything like that. You can buy the stickers, and I'm going to make a call to a bike shop, a Aprilia dealer today, see if I can get that decal. It is £425 for the full kit. In my opinion, that's okay for a bike that's worth 30,000 plus, but I don't know if they will release a single fairing sticker. I have tried to replicate them on the computer. I did start drawing them up. I scanned them and redraw them and corrected them on the computer. It seemed to be going well, but for some reason, I came to the files the next day after about 2 weeks work, I came to the files next day and they're all corrupt for no reason, so starting those again just broke my heart. It's going to take a lot of work to get those stickers done. I do not have a brilliant paint program to do this on, so I can't find no one to replicate these stickers. So what I'm going to do is phone this bike shop. In fact, I'll do it in a minute, see if they can get me that sticker individually on its own. Then I know I'm good to go, that I can use the whole sticker kit. The problem would be if I could not get these RSV SP stickers at all, that would mean it's a massive problem. These would have to be redrawn up because you can't buy them anywhere online. You can buy standard RSV, you can buy the RSVR ones from 99 onwards, but you cannot buy the SP stickers. If anybody does know where you can get some from for a great price, please put a comment below and let me know. But anyway, we're going to strip this down now and see what we've got to work with. This is the worst part. The worst part of a paint job is when you're stripping the bike down. The reason being is you uncover all sorts of gremlins which you didn't see before. You do not know what you're going to be faced with. And that causes problems because it takes more time, alright, and energy. Right, so let's get to it. Let's get him stripped. I'll have a quick look at it before I get stripped. There it is. Right, let's get stripped. Right, so as much as an RSV Aprilia die-hard fan I am, to this day I still do not know why they did not put a quick fit connector on both of the fuel lines, the return and the inlet for the tank, because it's a big pain in the ass getting the tank off and having fuel spill all over. You've got to be quick to get that thing off, otherwise you get covered. What I'm going to do is, because I am pretty much covered, I'm going to open the door and get out and have a brew for a while, let this place fumigate because it stinks high to death of fuel. So the tank is draining, that belly pan is shot, the damn thing is filthy in there. I really want to give this a clean up. I don't like letting a bike go back covered in crap, so we will get this engine cleaned up best we can. Get all these parts, put on the bench in there, tidy up, get all the screws put back where they need to be. I don't like working in a mess like this. Where is it? There's something broken. This here, that's going to want replacing. I think Griff gave me one of these in a box of spares, so if not, I'll get in touch with him today and get that replaced. Everything else looks okay. So, carbon fibre bits off. We're going to paint all of them. The carbon fibre bits on the back as well. Under tray wants replacing. That's been cut there, so we're going to have to get another one of those. And this room is an absolute shithole. It's a shithole, basically. It's a shithole in here. I don't like it. I want to get it clean. Right, brew time, and we'll prep.
Of the Aqua Minerale, but he wasn't able to do it. Now he's right alongside Edwards, and this time he's got to make that stick into the Alta, and he has. Zaus has moved ahead of Edwards. He'd been trying on the other side of him lap after lap, but that time he caught him up the inside.
Corsa is on fire. He's right on the back of Bostrom now, and Zaus looks up the inside of Regis Laconi, your new race leader. Look at that for a move. Great stuff. Troy Corsa positioned himself beautifully, and he's up on Bostrom.
That was a good move. Now that is the aggression that we need to see from Corsa if he's going to get near to Zaus.
I'm going to get the tank sanded now. It took me 2 hours. 2 hours to sand the stickers off the tank. I thought I could break through the clear coat and peel them off, but no, they had to go right to the bone. I've not used paint stripper on the tank because I've not really used paint stripper on aluminium before. And I don't really want the acid in the paint stripper to make a reaction with the aluminium in any way, because you've got to be careful when you're using acids around aluminium that can discolor it and cause problems. So I don't want that. So I've opted to just fully sand the thing down. Right, let's take a look at the tank. There were a scratch here, a gouge right to the primer here. So that my initial plan was to wet sand the whole thing in 1000 grit and perhaps just base coat this and blend this area in here and then re-clear the whole tank. But the problem I found when I was just etching the surface, even with 1500 grit, it took the clear coat off and started attacking the sticker straight away. So the very, very thin layer of clear coat on this tank, if that's the original paint, I don't know. I don't think it's been painted before, but I'm a bit surprised they've used white primer. Maybe they use white primer because there's white decals, well, backgrounds on the actual bike itself. But this paint was very, very thin. It didn't take much. You're talking 1500 grit, some 1000 grit, just to actually surface it. Took it right off, so I could never buff that. It would rip the whole thing apart. So I've had to remove all these stickers. The stickers were in good condition. I want to salvage them and just repair the tank. But that's a problem. It's very thin, the paint on here. It used to take me no time at all to get this down to where I need it to be. So I've got lots of prep work, so I'm going to switch off and get this sanded down. I'm going to do the rear seat cowl as well. There's some stickers on there. I need to get all that peely, all that sticky residue off there. Use some brake cleaner or something like that. Sometimes I use petrol. Petrol's good for getting rid of all that sticky residue from decals that you want to remove. It really is a good thing to do. Get a paintbrush or cloth, rub some petrol on that, it takes it straight off. It won't damage your paintwork. Right, okay, so I'm going to get these sanding done. I'm going to have a beer as well while I'm doing it. Right. Oh my god, this is like really, really bad. Wow. That is really stone chip. This is going to take some flying off. Oh my god. Oh no. This is also pretty bad. I bet you that spot there has got filler underneath it. Don't know what that is. I'm just checking for repairs and things. Last thing I want to do is sand it down and find filler and plastic weld, but I want to get these, I want the panels to be all nice and true and flat, so we'll get that the best we can. The other one that came off it was wrecked, so I've thrown it away. That is going to take some sanding. Silver, right. So I've got the tanking primer. I've just put a little bit of primer on there because there was some damage on this panel. I bought this panel from eBay because, well, take a look at the one I was going to be working with. We ain't going to be using that. I've taken so much paint off this. It was like brush painted a gammy looking orange. Underneath that was a luminous orange, then it was blue, then underneath the blue it was silver, and then it's black. So I've given up with that. There's too much mess on there, plus there's a crack here. There's a crack in there. I have plastic welded it. You can just see, well, the buried actually, put some hot staples in there, but I just don't trust it, and it's quite an important job to me, so I don't want to be using that. So I purchased this one. There's less prep time to get that ready, and it's quite a solid piece, and it looks like this one had light crash damage, but the bike itself must have been in good condition because this panel is practically spotless. So we're going to be using that. The nose cone, I have fully primed that. It's going to want some rub down, some more primer on it. We've got to really build up this white and stop it from being transparent. Some transparent areas there which we want to get out. I can still see a little bit of outline from the original painted decal thing that was on there. Those stone chips and holes all over this. It was battered, absolutely battered. I've got a spare one of those, but it's got a crack in it also, so I can't use that. I put the rad scoop things under there. Again, this was stone chipped heavily right down to the plastic, so I've had to put a little bit of finishing putty under there. So yeah, the prep work is intense. With these panels, I've had that much paint on them and repairs. It is unreal. I've never seen anything like it. But because it's an SP, we've got to get this right. We've got to get it spot on, take the time to get it right. I didn't imagine all this prep work on a bike like this, an SP, expecting on something you pay for 500 or 600 quid. It's a bit of a track bike, something like that. But yeah, this is a multitude of bad news. So this is all going to be painted black as well. I'm going to go through it all. I'll cover that up, the fuel pump hole. Let's have a look inside the SP. Inside the SP aluminium tank. It's pretty dusty in there. I'm going to have to clean that out. Can I get my light on and show you? Oh, it won't work. No. Right, okay. I'm going to call it a night. I've got my beer. I'm going to call it a night, get some food, and then come back to you in the morning. See you later. Alright, so I'm getting the wheels ready for powder coating. I'm going to take them to KTS refinishing powder coaters. But what I've got to do is strip all the brake rotors or stuff like that. I've got to strip the wheel bearings out as well because they'll just practically melt. The rubber seal on them will melt in the oven. So I've got to get the wheel bearings out. They are pretty much seized into the wheel. I've tried putting a little bit of heat on them. I've tried my bearing pullers, but they are not coming out at all. It's just ripping apart my slide hammer. So what my plan is to get a TIG welder and basically weld a bolt or something across the bearings. That way I can smash them out from one side. That's what I'm going to do now. I want to get all this messy stuff out of the way because I don't want to get these wheels back all nicely powder coated, then have to remove the bearings and damage them, obviously. So, right, so this is the rear wheel. This is the rear wheel, and I've not started with the front wheel yet, but I'm going to weld onto this bearing here because it's the easiest one to get to on this side. I've taken the carrier off there. Just need to give this a degrease before I start welding it, but what I plan to do is weld a bolt, just tack it in from there to there, weld it on. That way I can put a rod down the other side and smash it out. The heat from the TIG should hopefully expand that a little bit to help it come out. I've done this before. It doesn't damage the wheel in any shape or form, so the TIG welder comes in very handy. Right, we'll get this degrease and get something to stick on there. this brake rotor off. I thought these wheels are supposed to be light. Okay. Before anyone says, there is a little recess there in the spindle carrier thing, so if you can get your punch in just like that, you can tap the bearing out. But the rear wheel was totally seized in, so this is not as bad. This other side should come out a piece of piss now. Hopefully. Made me sweat a bit, that one, but you know, got it out. Right, so put that safe down here. And we'll get these off. I've noticed some strange things with this bike. When I remove these wheel bolts, obviously the wrong ones, they've been packed in with washers. Don't know why the hell you do that, just get the proper bolts for it, they're not expensive. Also, I've just taken this rotor off and some washers have dropped from behind it. These here, there's two washers spacing that out. That is very strange. I don't know why that is. I'm going to have to phone Griff and ask him about that. That is strange. Don't know why that is. Obviously to space it out, but that isn't good at all, is it? The other side did not have any. That is not only dangerous, but it's a strange thing because that brake rotor obviously needs to be level.
Look at that for a move. Great stuff. Troy Corser positioned himself beautifully and he's up on Bostrom.
That was a good move. Now that is the aggression that we need to see from Corser if he's going to get near to Zaus and near to the front of this pack. Here Zaus is in the house and he was nearly off the house there. That was really, really close. He really did have the back end sliding big style. Watch this. He saw that Laconi went slightly wide, missed the apex, so he came in looking to try and get up the inside of him down towards Villeneuve. But, well, a little bit too much effort there and lost grip with the back wheel, but made all the time up that he might have lost. Breathing down the neck of Laconi.
Alright, so it's carbon fibre repair time. I'm dreading this moment. I've never repaired carbon fibre before. I've seen it done, I've watched a few videos on YouTube of the process and it looks quite similar to fiberglass repair, which I've done in the past. It's not much different, you know, with the gel coat and the fibre weave sheet, etc. So I've ground back, sanded back all the paint that was on this, and I've discovered, I saw there was a crack in it previously, so I've discovered a really nasty bod repair. It looks like someone's done this with body filler and super glue. It wasn't really structurally sound. They've not used carbon fibre. That's the reason why this has cracked up when the bike's been used. If you don't do this properly, then it will simply, after you've painted it, it's simply just going to crack right through again. So what we're going to do is replace this with carbon fibre and a proper gel coat for this, so it'll remain structurally sound throughout time and it'll look a lot better. There's a good side to this, there's also a bad side to this. The good side is that this is not exposed carbon fibre like this area here. It's literally going to be painted over, so I don't have to worry too much about the finish on it. If this was exposed carbon fibre, you would find it very difficult to repair all that. will not repair it, but its appearance will be revolting. It's got some holes in it there. Look, this is where the body filler were. I've ground all this back, and this took some. It took like 120 grit and 240 grit to get this down. I don't know what this blue stuff is here. It's some kind of blue body filler, I think it was, but it was really tough to get down. We've got lots of chips here. We've got another little crack there. You can't barely see that. There's more damage down here, which I've ground back. One thing I've had to do is grind this back, get the paint off, and grind this right back to carbon again, because I can't put gel coat over paint. The gel coat needs to be over the carbon. So we've got a crack in there, which I've ground that back, and there's one that's not gone all the way through here. There was a little bit of cracking and pitting here. To be honest, the carbon fibre itself, the quality of it, it must have been recycled, what they've done, recycled carbon. The quality of it was pretty porous. All these little dots here, which I've got to wash that out, because that is clear coat that's gone into the pores, the bubbling of the carbon. The process of making this has not been very well. It will look great when it's done. It'll look better than original, to be honest. But there was some porous spots all over this, pit holes and fish eyes and stuff like that. The other panel had the same. We've got damage on the other panel. But what we're going to do is get these both repaired today and hopefully let it cure off. And while it's curing off, I'm going to sand that primer down on the other bits. But I want this to go well. I do not want to be doing this again, alright? Right, so I've given that clean off, all these carbon fibre parts. I've given it a clean off with some brake cleaner just to get rid of any more dust. We've got this epoxy resin, and apparently you mix it 100% resin with 30% hardener. So pour that in there. Well, this is thick stuff, this is. I thought it was going to be runnier than that, actually. Yeah, look at all that. So we need to mix this and get all the air bubbles out of it. Start pasting it on. If you're an expert in carbon fibre repairs, don't be putting bad comments, because it's the first time I've done this, so I might be doing something wrong, I don't know. We'll see. If it's crap, it don't work, we'll rip it off and do it again. Simple as that. I don't know if that's empty or if there's not enough in there. Seems to be very little. I might have to mix the whole lot. Getting some more of this stuff. There's not a lot in these tubes at all.
Keep dancing with the devil,